is it Memorex? Oh, I am live. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome to another live stream. I'm trying to be a little respectful. I'm not being super loud. I am in an indoor cafe, coffee / wedding cake shop. Not getting married, don't think of that. But yeah, so join me with some red Thai milk tea. They make the best milk tea out here, it's so good. But we'll wait for people to start popping in. But if you're watching this on replay, or if you just happen to pop in now, my name is Tami. I'm an expat from Orlando, Florida, USA. And I currently live in the capital of Cambodia, which is Phnom Penh. I just saw another YouTuber walk by, that's why I was like, I know that dude. His name's Paul. He just started his YouTube channel. He's from Canada, and he's one of the guys I helped get an apartment out here. That is a trip to see him walking by. I just happened to catch him walking by. That's pretty trippy, bro. That's what we do, man. We come out here and we not only live, but we run YouTube channels. He's out here filming right now. He had his camera equipment and everything. Oh my God, that's crazy. But anyway, if you can read this, it's probably backwards. Ben's and Grace Coffee, established in 2019. There's some coffee, there's some tea, in this case milk tea. I was next door at a they called it a healthy Taiwan shop, to get some Taiwanese, like a salad. It was like a chicken salad with all kinds of noodles and veggies, and it was a dry soup, but it was like a salad. It was pretty good. It had some good chili pepper sauce that went with it, like a soy sauce that you could pour on top of it. It was only $3, and I was gonna film over there, and it was upstairs in the air conditioning. Hello, welcome in. Yeah, and I was gonna film it over there in the air con, but then it was like too small and too condensed, and more people were coming in. It was really quiet, and I was like, I don't want to be that guy, you know what I mean? Even though I'm a girl, I don't want to be that guy. But yeah, as you people pop in and say hello, don't be shy. Let me know where you are from. Where are you tuning in from? Let me know the city, the state, or the country that you are tuning in from. So that would be super cool. And again, ask questions. This YouTube video stream is for you. Again, I'm in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Hey, who's that? Who's that? I can't read it. This is Saraba? Saraba? I can't read it. But anyway, hello. But if you have any questions about living in Cambodia, that's what I do. I do these live streams twice a week, usually Mondays and Fridays. And yeah, this is for you, baby. This is for you. What does that say? Smile, please, sweetie. If I smile anymore, I'll be smiling out the door. I'm smiling. See my little dimple? I'm smiling. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys the place. I mean, it's nothing fancy. I like the layout, but it's actually a dated kind of coffee shop. You can tell it's been around for a while, but yeah, let me get it. Let me read your comments too, but you can take a look outside here. Newsman says, okay, that sounds interesting. Which country? We're in Cambodia. A Devil Doll says, I love your content. Thank you. Appreciate it, Devil Doll. I like your handle, man. But yeah, check it out. A DTuber at work from Canada. Welcome in. But yeah, here we are. See Ben's and Grace. It looked like they had an upstairs to sit at, but they got it all closed down. But see, there's two other women in here with me. It's a very local yokel kind of place. Definitely an older. You can see the building is pretty neat. No, newsman. I mean, if you want to talk about Cambodia, you can, but that's it. You can hit me up at my email, Tami, Tami, at nextstepunknown.com. We could talk about moving to Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Tony Lay says, hi. Tony from Santa Fe, New Mexico, 2 in the morning. Been following your adventures and has made me start to think heavily I would know the place of residence other than the divided states. Whoa. Man, I've been hearing so many stories about the United States, and none of them are really positive, and it makes me sad because I still have 2 grown kids that are stuck in Orlando, Florida, where I'm from. And I pray and I hope for the best. I want United States to do better, but as things are going right now, it doesn't look like it is. But I could tell you things are pretty chill out here in Cambodia. One thing that is happening out here because of the other war, I'm not going to get into politics or anything, but you know what I'm talking about. There is some gas rationing that's happening out here. You can see like the tuk-tuks at the gas stations getting their gas. There's long lines coming out to the road. So they're rationing gas out here, guys. But people are still able to get around. People are still driving their motorbikes, their cars. I'm still able to get around by tuk-tuk. I haven't seen it affect food prices as of yet, so I can report that. So far, so good, right? So far, so good. But if anything goes up or anything starts going down, I will definitely let you know on my live streams. But back to your questions. Thank you so much. Okay, again, this live stream is for you. This is not the dating game. This is Cambodia. Anything you would ask about living and, coming over here, if you're curious about the cost of living, if you're curious about how to get around, how to get your visa, transportation, anything like that, ask away. Ask away. I've personally been living here for over a year. It's been, well, this is almost April, right? It's been roughly 16 months. So, a year and 4 months I've been out here, almost a year and a half. And it's been really nice, really, really nice. I can't complain. Can't complain. I just renewed a 1-year lease with my landlady. This was about a week or 2 ago. So I'm happy with my apartment. I only pay $330 a month. I have a really nice 1-bedroom apartment, all fully furnished. Nice balcony, French style building that's been remodeled. Because you got to remember, the French came out here about 150 years ago. 100 to 150 years ago, and there's a lot of French influence out here. So a lot of the buildings are from the French era when they were here colonizing Cambodia, and they've remodeled them, and one of those buildings is mine that my landlady owns. It's like a 3-story, and I live on the 2nd floor. She's on the 1st floor, I'm on the 2nd floor. and the third floor is actually empty, but she's saved. She's trying to rent it out, but if she doesn't have it rented, either her or some of her family members go up there, they take a shower, and they sleep up there every now and then, but no big deal. But yeah, so things are going pretty smooth out here. Pretty smooth. Anyway, let me check your comments here. Hold on one moment. You can check out this coffee shop where I'm at. It's gonna say like a cake place. It's pretty chill. So again, we're in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. As you can see, the French architecture in one of the apartment buildings right across the street. And everybody's got their motorbikes out here, so there's still got gas out here. Morning, MK. What's happening? Where are you tuning in from, MK? Let me know. You can see the tuk-tuks going by, all that good stuff. Yeah, let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Land of Lincoln. Okay, let me guess. I want to say Nebraska, but Land of Lincoln, is that Illinois? Is that Nebraska? Is it Washington, D.C.? I don't know. Somebody's tuned in from Mars, okay. Hail Mars. I'm actually from Venus. Yeah. Mars, okay. Planet. Yeah, I got you, man. The planet. Illinois. Okay, I thought it was either Nebraska. I was thinking of Lincoln, Nebraska, or Illinois. All right, cool. Got that one right. Gotta drink my tea before it gets too watered down. But yeah, so like I said, I'm in Cambodia, so ask your questions. Okay. MK, Chicago. Okay, you're in Chicago. Chicago. Okay. It's dark over here. Stay safe. Yeah, I'm totally safe. I'm totally safe. Yeah. Sorry that I'm streaming at midnight or beyond on your side, because you guys are halfway around the world, but it's daytime over here. It's literally going on 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon, and that's when I stream. I stream during the day, because if I streamed at night, you guys wouldn't see shit out here. Of course, it'd be daytime over there, but nighttime over here. Yosh yosh. Okay, let me look at your comments while you get a view out here. Okay, is it Rel? 1275. Hi, I am in Florida. It's 3 a.m. here. Wow. Okay. Hello. What part of Florida? I'm from Orlando. Water Curses says I'm in Seattle. Awesome. Welcome in Seattle. Devil Dolls in California. What part of California? Desire Abarra says it's dark over here. I'm gonna go back on your comments. It says zoom out. It would say I have to mentally adjust to accept to being there and living there as opposed to the United States. Okay, Tony Laybaugh writes, it would seem one would have to be mentally adjust to accept to being there in living there as opposed to the United States. Not sure what you mean by that. Mentally adjust? Elaborate. I think I'm pretty mentally adjusted. Oh, you're from Pensacola, Rel? Awesome. Okay, Devil Dolls from Sierra Nevada. That's a place I've never been. Hey, VF guy, what's up? Phoenix, we're 47 more days until I get the heck out of Dodge for the summer. Awesome, VF guy. The countdown begins. The countdown begins. MKiz says, bring some gas home. They're killing us with gas prices. How much is gas out there right now, guys? I know you're all spread out around the country, but how much is your average gallon of gas? I'd be curious. Now, out here, they go by the liter, okay? They don't go by the gallon. So a liter of gas, depends on which station, it's around $1 a liter. So 4 liters equals $1. They're paying anywhere from $4 to $6 for a gallon out here. Hence the motorbikes. You get one of these motorbikes like right here and fill these tanks up. Look here. See, like this one right here? These suckers can run a month depending on where you're going, but if you just stay in town, these little things, you fill them up like $5 for the gallon, maybe even, it might only cost maybe $12 to fill them up, couple gallons, and it'll last you a whole entire month. That's why people drive these, man. Okay, let me jump back on your comments. Water Curses says $6, so $6 a gallon, okay. Tony Lay says, I mean, mentally adjusted, the culture and their way of living. Yeah, it's different. But it's more laid back. I could tell you that. It feels more comfortable to me to be out here. It just is. It's just more laid back and comfortable. Angel Esparza. Hey, right, finally, glad you made it in. Rail says 360 here. Angel Spirit says hi. 5A Devil Doll says 589 for low grade. Wow. Okay. Well, that's a little pricey. Better fly away? I don't know. Chris says over $3 a liter of diesel in New Zealand. $3 a liter? Whoa. Now that's pretty expensive. MK says 39 trillion in debt. We should have free gas. You would think. You would think, right? You would think. $3.58 a gallon in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Okay, Tony. Wow. That's crazy, guys. Oh, what about the food prices? Tell me about that. Like I said, we're doing some gas rationing out here. There are some gas stations I've noticed out here where the tuk-tuks, they pull up to get their gas, and they're in line. There's a big line of them going out on the street, and they're gas rationing for tuk-tuks. I haven't seen them do it for motorbikes or for cars, but they're doing it for the tuk-tuk drivers. I haven't seen lines of cars out on the street or lines of motorbikes, but I've seen it with the tuk-tuk drivers. I don't know why, they're rationing it. But the food prices so far have not increased. So, I mean, I go grocery shopping once a week. Like, my day is Thursday, I go out grocery shopping. So I'll live stream this coming Friday, and if it goes up in any way, shape, or form, I'll let you know, to see how it's affecting Cambodia. But I mean, everybody seems pretty chill and relaxed out here. In fact, congratulations, I want to say this, I don't think she's in the live stream, but I just helped one of my subscribers, one of you guys, it could be you. Her name is Renee, she goes by Renee. She just moved in 1 week ago. Literally 1 week she came here from Texas. She got with me. I mean, shameless plug. I tell you guys all the time on this live stream, I help people move here. I've got contacts to help you get into an apartment. Like, you can cut all the bullshit and all the anxiety. You just spend 1 hour with me, you got an apartment pretty much guaranteed. Because I got contacts, right? I know a good realtor out here. Anyway, she got with me, and within 1 week, actually 1 day, I took her out with the realtor a couple days ago. We looked at 5 or 6 different apartments in one shot. She found her apartment. She got it. They wanted $450 a month. I told her to negotiate. I said, I don't know about that, because she said her top end budget was $400. She didn't really want to spend any more than that. She got a nice 1 bedroom for $400. She negotiated. She got with the she got with the realtor. The realtor got with the landlord, and they got it down $50. And the deposit matches the rent. So she only has to pay $800 cash to move in. She signed her lease today, and she's moving in on April 1st. So she was only in an Airbnb for like a week, a couple days, and then she's already got her apartment. So the next thing I'm going to work on with her is extending her visa, because she came in on what's called the ordinary visa, right? She's over 55, so she can qualify for the retirement visa. If you're 55 or older, you get the retirement visa here in Cambodia. So she came in on the ordinary / business visa, which is the right thing to do. It's good for 30 days when you get it online, but you have to extend it within that 30 days. And you can extend it up to 6 months or 12 months. So she's waiting to get settled in, and I says, when you're ready, get with me, I'll get with my person, and we'll get your visa extended. So another successful client. She seems very happy. Yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. She may pop into the channel, you never know. But yeah, I'm glad to help people, and that's what I want to do with you guys, is help you to make it a reality. So if you're serious about leaving your home country, whether it's the United States or wherever, and you're like, there's got to be a better way where my dollar will stretch further, and you want to come here to Phnom Penh, Cambodia, and you need somebody who speaks English, who's already been there, done that, who can help you get secured out here. Just plant your roots. The rest is up to you, right? But help you get set up out here. I'm your girl, man. I get you set up, bro. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys. But yeah, back to your questions. Hey, Maven's in the house. Yeah, MK says, God bless America, red, white, and blue. That's true. Katie, hello, Katie. The Rabbit News. I can't sleep. Now I have to listen to Tami. Oops, hello. Well, you can always turn it back off there. Lesser Goblin, that's awesome. Yep, got tattoos there, Angel. Yeah, Maven says, woohoo, yeah. Where are we? We're in Phnom Penh. We're actually, we're in a little coffee shop / they sell wedding cakes here, as you can see, like models of wedding cakes. It's not a fancy place. It's pretty chill though. And I'm just here, I'm just having a tea. Just having a tea. But yeah, one thing I wanted to mention, Maven, since you're on here, Justine, who I just helped from Texas, was interested in meeting you. So if you're down for that, write me and all three of us can get together. But she said she knows so much of you through the live streams that she would like to meet you. So Just throwing it out there. She's good people. She's good people. Cool, of course. Okay, cool. All right. In fact, the other day, well, it was a couple days ago before we got her apartment, we were walking around where your school is, and I was showing her around the block there. We went to the Willow coffee shop, which I think was 2 blocks down from where you teach. And then we ended up where you teach. And I was pointing to your school, and I was like, see this? I said, this is where the Maven teaches. And she was like, oh my God. She was so excited. She goes, oh, I really want to meet her. So she wants to meet you. I think that's pretty cool. She just wants to know some people since she's brand new out here. I don't blame her a bit. Back to your comments. Hey, Fred. Yeah, hello. Southern Indiana. What's up, Fred? We're just chilling over here at the coffee shop. At the coffee shop. Okay, MP says he's staying. All right. And that's good. You do you. Okay, what do we got going on, Maven? Royal plowing ceremony is in May. I'm thinking of arranging a trip. It's in Prey Veng this year. Okay. Not sure where all that's at. Maybe you can give me more details offline. D-Tuber at work says, are there super cheap studio apartments for around 50 bucks? Ooh, not through the realtor I go with. I haven't seen anything on his website for 50 bucks. Maven, chime in. Are there studio apartments for 50 bucks? Maybe if he's way out of the city, right? Like if he's in a province or something. But I would say in the city, I'd have to say no, unless it's somebody's home and you're living inside their home. I don't know. I can tell you this, the apartments that we toured, like I said, we saw 6 of them. The first 2 we saw were renting at $400 and $450 a month, which was a low end for a 1-bedroom, and they were old, and they were near the Russian market, and they were near the Royal Palace, which is where all the action is. But you got to figure the closer in you are to all the action, the more expensive the apartments get, whether they're new or not. If they're old and remodeled, they're still going to cost you $400 to $450 a month. So to say that you're going to get one for 50 bucks, I looked at a studio with her. I mean, it was huge. It could have been a 1-bedroom. All they had to do was partition off a piece of the bedroom to the living room and kitchen, and you could have literally made that into a 1-bedroom. But they wanted 500 bucks for that one, and that was a studio. So, but it was brand new. I can tell you that it was a brand new apartment. You would be the first tenant. It was like on the 11th floor, I think. Yeah, it was an 11-story building, and this one was on the top floor with a real nice view, and it was $500. And it has an electric stove, no gas. So her place actually has an electric stove, which is going to cost more money because the power out here ain't cheap, guys. That's why a lot of times people out here don't run their electricity, or they don't run their, what should I say, their air conditioning. They do not run their air conditioning mostly during the day. They just turn on fans, and then they maybe run them at night. If you're local, they're so used to having no AC. That's how they save money. So, back to your comments. Okay, Maven says locals pay for a room for 50 to 75. Okay, so that's a room, not a studio. That's what I thought. BF guy says, I promised my wife a 2 cardboard box place in the beach in Hawaii. She was not amused. That's pretty good. I like that. I like that, BF guy. That's hilarious. So cool. Oh, they're playing, what's his name? Ed Sheeran? Ed Sheeran? It's empty. I like that one, that's good. People know we love in various ways. Right where we are. I think this is gonna work, guys. We're gonna try it. What does it say? Drag here to end it. Okay. It's working. Somebody voted. Two votes. Anybody else want to vote? Thought we'd have a little fun. Okay, Maven, you gotta split out and tutor. Okay, have a great day. We'll talk later. Okay, VF Guy says it works. Got 5 votes. We got an 80-20 split. Rel says I did. Thank you, Rel. Anybody else want to jump in? Looks like we got the 5 votes. Okay, so we got, okay, here we go. More coming in. 83-17 split. Okay, Rel says I would love to go to Cambodia. Tony says, "Is Tony? I'm ready to go." We know you're ready to go, bro. Where we are. I know you're ready to go, bro. Okay, I'm gonna end the voting. Here we go. Is it gonna work? Drag here to end the poll. Wait a minute, wait a minute. You know I haven't done this before. Hold on. So now we're 62-38. Oh my gosh. Well, guess what? I don't think we can end it. A ST3 says, are you a, I don't know. You found the right where you... I can't end, oh, there it goes. Okay, we got 11 votes. 55 no, 45 yes. That's interesting. That's really interesting. Well, honestly, it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? Just like if somebody were to ask me, do you want to move to Russia? At this point in my life, I'd probably say no. Right? But then again, I don't really know enough about Russia to really judge the country. Just from what I hear from the media, that's all I know. Have I been to Russia? No. So is it fair to judge Russia or any other country that you've never been to and immediately say, no, you wouldn't want to live there? You know what I mean? And I was that way before I came to Cambodia. I traveled through Cambodia. Like, I actually went to Siem Reap for a month. And at first I was like, it's all right, but it's too, like, dusty. It's like a dusty country. It's very dry. A lot of wind and dust, like a dust bowl, right? I guess sort of like out in the Middle East of America. Or what should I say, Midwest? I don't know how to say Middle East. Midwest of America. Then I came to the capital here, and I've heard some people tell me, like, they would ask me, have you ever been to Phnom Penh? And I'd be like, no, I've been to Siem Reap. And I says, what is it like? And they're like, well, it's okay. I mean, it's like a pass-through place, right? I was like, okay. So when I first came out here, I wasn't expecting much. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, well, we'll see. I'll give it 6 months. I had a 6-month visa. I was planning on trying to teach out here and see what I can make happen out here. What the fuck? Somebody's drilling in the background. Okay, we're gonna have to talk over the drilling. Gotta love it. They're always doing construction out here. I don't know if you can hear that. But once I got out here, and the more that I got to know the people, the city, all the cool places to hang out in, it was like, this place is really good. The prices are good. The people are chill. The food is great. I can live on the cheap for under $800 a month. I have a nice home. It's like, wow. Now, do I miss the United States? I miss the people in the United States, but I don't miss the cost of living. Let's put it that way. Like, there's nothing against the United States. Obviously, I was born and raised there. My parents died there. My kids are still there. So I have nothing against my home country. Just because I've moved to Cambodia doesn't mean that I'm dead set against going back to America. I just can't, I would be struggling, let's put it that way. Even if I went back, got a job again, I would have a hard time making ends meet because I'm not a rich person. I mean, come on, I'm not a millionaire, billionaire, just like most of you, right? So I'm like, where can I go where my dollars stretch further? And yeah, I am away from my children, but I get to go back and see them like once every 2 years. I'll get an airplane ticket and ride back. And hopefully I can do that this year. I've already booked my ticket in September to go back and see my children. And I hear there's like airport strikes and all of that going on. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. If I end up going or not, that would be nice. But yeah, would I like to see America do better? Hell yeah, I would. Would I like, you know what Cambodia reminds me of? I'll tell you what it reminds me of. Living here right now with the prices and everything else actually reminds me of what the United States used to be back in the 70s and the 80s. So think about that. Think about the prices back in the 70s and the 80s if you're around my age. Life was pretty, I wouldn't say easy, but it was tolerable. And you were able to actually just have one job, feed a family of 4, have a nice home, have a car or two in the garage, take a vacation once a year. I remember that because, I mean, most of the time my dad was the one who was working. My mom stayed home. It was just me. We had 2 cars. We had a boat. We went out every weekend on the boat. Like, we weren't hurting, you know what I mean? Like, we were good middle-class, solid family. And then as the years went on, things just got out of control. But that's how Cambodia reminds me now. So if you want the 70s and the 80s cost of living again, then Cambodia is it. Now, is it America? No. Will you have a sort of hard time speaking English out here? Yes. Not everybody speaks English, but most of them do, especially in the capital city. So you can make it work. You really can. Anyway, enough of my rambling. Let me go back to you. Yeah, that's pretty rude. Goodbye. Tony says the American dream has become American greed. Yeah. Dory Price is in the house. Hello. Lily said hi. Hi, Lily. Welcome in, Lily. Yeah, Tony's like, he's so ready to go. So Tony, again, if you're still in the live stream, well, it looks like you are. Let me go back. Where are you from again, Tony? Let me see here if I can go back on your comment. Let me see if I can figure out where you're from. Where are you coming from, Tony? Oh, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Okay. All right, I got it. Okay, Yeshua. Hello, Yeshua. I speak so English. Okay. Well, that's good. I speak so Khmer. I don't speak no Khmer. I'm just looking a little bit crazy right now. Well, when you're in a tuk-tuk, you just have to wear your hair back. But I love riding the tuk-tuks. They're fun. Super fun. Oh, thank you. I got a little flower. Thank you so much. I like flowers. Flowers are beautiful. Although I think I'm killing my plant at the house. I have a plant. My landlady gave me a couple of tropical plants, and they're not in dirt, they're in water. They're in vases and in water. One of them's doing really well. I've had it for a few months. The other one I've had for a few months, the roots are starting to turn brown. So it must not be the kind of plant that wants to stay in water that long. And I'm like, oops, oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. Just say hi, yeah. Absolutely. So who sent the flower? Look Sharp? Thank you, Look Sharp. I appreciate you sending a flower. That's really sweet. But yeah, I see how people get upset when I talk about living here versus living in the United States. I mean, we don't have to be rude about it. You know what I mean? It's like, it just is what it is. Some people get priced out of their home countries, and they have to, that's what's immigration. That's why they leave, right? People do it from all over the world. If life is not good where you're at, what's the natural thing to do? Leave, right? So if you have the opportunity to make a better life, whether it's in another state in the United States, whether it's going to another country, you have to do what's right for you, right? So what's right for you may not be right for the next person. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I was born red, white, and blue. Like, I'm not a traitor. I'm not against the United States. I just can't afford to live there. That's what sucks, you know? But if things get to a point where I can afford to move back and maybe live out the rest of my life back in Florida, I would love to go back. But until then, Cambodia is my second home. And, you know, I say I'm gonna be here forever? No, I don't know. Anything's possible. I thought I was gonna stay in Florida for the rest of my life. I thought I was gonna retire in Orlando and pretty much grow old and die, just like my parents in Orlando, Florida. But that's not happening. You know what I mean? So for me to say that I'm going to stay in Cambodia till the day I die, I can't say that. But I can tell you right now, it's working for me, you know? It is the place to be at the moment. Back to your comments. Rail says, I lived in England. Life was simple there. Aww. What part of England? I've been to London, but only for a week. VF guy. People get offended. It's their problem. Yeah, I understand. It is their problem. But they don't need to spew negativity onto the live stream. I don't appreciate that kind of negativity on the live stream. You know what I mean? Because it's like I said, this channel is all about helping others move to Cambodia. And if that's what you're into, then by all means stay and ask questions. If you're not into it, then you can just simply bounce to another channel. You know what I mean? So to actually leave a negative comment and get all pissy about it, but continue to stay to try to fight and defend your position, see, that's the mindset. That's another reason I left the United States. That is the mindset that most Americans are trapped in. And do I blame them? No, because there's so much hatred coming out of social media. There's so much hatred coming from TV media and how they're wanting to divide everybody in the United States. So everybody hates everybody for whatever reason. I could have a wart on my nose and you'd hate me because I have a wart on my nose. Or I look like a dude or something. I hate you because you look like a dude. Or whatever it is. It's so stupid. I'm trying to speak here. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think we just have to learn to tolerate people, but we have to have our boundaries too. I like to keep the live streams upbeat, happy, personable, and if you have any questions about Cambodia, you ask. I respond the best I can. And if you are serious about needing help to move out here and get your apartment, get your visa, get maybe some health insurance, I have connections. I can help you. Time with me will save you a lot of heartache and anxiety and stress. I mean, could you do it on your own? Of course you can. But it will take you 2 to 3 times longer to secure everything you need when you just get with me and get it done within a day or 2. You know what I mean? I wish I had that person when I got here. When I had my boots on the ground for the first time, I wished I knew somebody who has already been through everything, who could just say, hey, I know exactly where you get your SIM card. I know exactly where you get your apartment. I know exactly who to take you to get your visa extended. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? And then all you gotta do is worry about where to get your groceries and buy your bed sheets. And I could tell you even where to do that. Or buy some really cheap secondhand Japanese, kitchenware. They have Japanese, secondhand stores all over the place in Phnom Penh. And you can get them like $1, $2. You can get some really nice dinnerware on the cheap out here that is Japanese quality made. So yeah, more comments. Okay, Rel, North Yorkshire. I have no idea where that's at. BF guy says my son lives in Hook Norton, Oxford. Lily, what'd you do? Spell check. Right, Tony Lay, I agree. The only person we have to get better than is ourselves. That's super cool. I agree with that. Rel wants to know, are there nice beaches there? I lived in Harrogate. Okay. It's 2 hours away from Scotland. Oh, okay, so you're near Scotland. All right. Mohammed, hey Mohammed, is that your scooter outside? No, these are just several scooters that are out the window right now. But going back to your question, Rel, are there nice beaches? Yeah. In fact, how can I put this? If you hopped on a bus, you can get a bus out here, and you go about 4 hours south of Phnom Penh, you will be on the coastline of Cambodia. And there's one beach there that's called Independence Beach, which is where I went. I went there one time, and it was pretty good. So the water is very clean, very blue-green color. The beaches are clean and white. I wouldn't say white, but you know, like a tannish white. But there is a really cool island. You hop a ferry from Independence Beach, and I think it's like a 2-hour ferry ride from the mainland. And there's an island out there called Koh Rong, okay? And I hear it's really pretty. I haven't been out there personally myself, but I hear it's really, really nice. In fact, I think I have an opportunity to do it as of New Year's. I have a friend of mine coming in from Australia who invited me to go to Koh Rong Beach with her. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and take her up on that. And who knows, maybe I'll do a video about that. You know, I'd love to show you what Koh Rong looks like. But yeah, that is the main beach in Cambodia. Pretty cool place. Pretty cool place. Good questions. Back to your comments. BF Guy says, how expensive is it to live on that beach there? BF Guy, that's a good question. I ran into an expat. Where was this dude from? I think he was from the United States. I was taking a train. When I went down to Independence Beach, I was taking a train. And I was at one of the train stops waiting to ride in. And I happened to be sitting next to this dude. And he looked like he was like a Westerner. And I said, hey, where are you from? You know, we're yakking it up. Anyway, I think he was from the United States. But he was telling me that he was moving his furniture from Sihanoukville, which is the mainland, to Koh Rong. And he was going back to get his motor scooter, right? And I think he told me, if I'm not mistaken, that he got a place for like $280 a month on the island. Now, grant you, this is not a developed island, okay? That's why it's cheap. But he's not staying in no fancy resort or a fancy house. He's staying in some kind of hut, which, I mean, you know, hey, if you're into that, like, he's just got a hut with a bed and everything. No air conditioning, but he's on a beach, you know. So he's paying, I think, about $300, if not less, per month to live there. And I asked him, I says, well, what about groceries, you know, because I know they're on the island. Is the food expensive out there? And he says no. He says it's actually pretty cheap. It's a lot of local food. Now, of course, anything that's shipped in from overseas is going to be more money. But he says you can get by pretty cheap on that island. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, VF Guy. Hey, Lily, I love it. That's so cute. Good morning. Is it Beryl? Beryl H40. Good morning. VF Guy says, sounds like paradise. Yeah, it pretty much is. It pretty much is. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Let me see if I missed anybody else's comments. I don't think I missed anybody else's comments. Oh, Bear. Okay. Yeah, you have been here before. I thought I recognized your handle. Thanks for coming in, man. Thanks for coming in. You missed the poll. I did a quiz poll just to test it out. I was asking people if you would move to Cambodia or not. At first, it was an 80-20 split that people would move here. Then as I ended the poll, it went down to, it was a 45-55 split that people would move here. And I was like, that's interesting. So then we got onto that conversation on why you would come here and why you wouldn't, and how this place can be misunderstood. And then one man got a little upset. He called me a traitor. He says, you're a traitor to your country, to America, and stay there. And he got all pissy, so I just said goodbye. Put him in timeout. If you know what I mean, right? But yeah, I'm just hanging out here, having a little Thai milk tea. Rapping to you guys. It's about 4 o'clock right now out here, guys. 4 o'clock Monday afternoon. Okay, VF guy says, I'm just not a city person, had enough. Had what? Had enough, my wife makes me live in the burbs. Your wife makes you do that? You have no say in this whatsoever? No, I'm just teasing. Yeah, the city isn't for everybody. Just like the beach isn't for everybody. Do I like going to the beach? Of course I do. Would I want to permanently live on a beach? Probably not. Just like you would maybe want to come to the city, but you wouldn't want to live here. Okay, here's another example. If you saw my, remember I did a live stream from Cambodia in the mountains down here in Cambodia? And I also made a little video about Cambodia. That's where all the pepper farms are and everything. And they have a beautiful river that runs through the mountains out there. That place is really chill. You know, I was thinking if you wanted a more casual, laid-back retirement that wasn't city, wasn't beach, but you wanted to be in the mountains, Cambodia would be the spot, man. It's a small little village-type town. But then I thought to myself, I couldn't live here permanently because there's really not much to do. I mean, it's just like Siem Reap, in my opinion, where you see a lot of the expat dudes, you know what they do? When they have nothing to do, they go drink beer. So if you're a beer drinker, there's plenty of bars and cafes to hang out and just drink beer all day, if that's your thing. No shade. But that's not my shtick, you know, I don't drink alcohol anymore, so if you take that out, what's left? Go out to eat? How many times can you go to a restaurant in a day, right? So I need different options. So even if I'm not sitting here in a coffee shop, you know, I can go shopping, I can go to the mall, I can go to these I like arts and crafts, or museums, or just take a walk along the riverfront. It's like whatever you want to do. There's a lot of options out here. And that's what I like about the city. Back to your comments. Yes. BF Guy says, is that island named Phu Quoc? No, it's actually Koh Rong. AJ. Oh my goodness. Okay, VF says, we have a deal. We live in the burbs for 8 months and in the boonies for 4. It's a compromise. Okay. Well, that's good. It's okay. We are in Phoenix. Winter in Seattle in the summer. I can't complain. Oh, that's a pretty good setup, VF Guy. Phoenix and Seattle. That's a really good setup. Because you know what I was thinking about doing later on down the road, because I like Albania. Like Albania is my Eastern Europe um, getaway kind of thing. You know how back in the States, well, you were one of them pretty much. You have the snowbirds that live up north in the winter. No, they live up north in the summer, and then they go down south for the winter, right? Um, you can do that out here between Europe and Asia. So I was thinking during the really hot months, which is like right now, like we're getting ready to hit, believe it or not, the next day or two, it's going to hit 100 degrees, 101. It's, of course, that's at peak time, like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then when the sun goes down, it gets better. But I was thinking about having an apartment here for 6 months out of the year in the rainy season months when it's cooler, and then getting an apartment up in Tirana, Albania, or near the coast out there, and being up there in the summer. Albania is beautiful. I went to Tirana. I really love Tirana. That's their capital city. Just very European, you know what I mean? On a shoestring budget. So you can have that Roman architecture and Turkish influence. Like, it's just very cool. That's all I gotta say. It's just a very cool place. And here's a fun fact. As a U.S. citizen, all you need is a passport, a valid passport, and you can stay in Albania for 1 year with no visa. That's another thing that attracted me. So you can live in Albania for up to a year with no visa. And they also have coastline, and they're right across from Italy. You know how expensive Italy is? You can live off the coast of Albania. There's a place called Vlores, and you're close to Greece. So you can hop into Greece anytime you want. You can take a ferry and go across and go into Italy. But you can live in Albania. So that was sort of my, like, maybe my long-term goal. But I wouldn't want to give up Cambodia, because then you got the Southeast Asia vibe. And you can still travel into Thailand if you want, or Vietnam, or Bali. I mean, I still want to go to Taiwan. These are more expensive locations, but I would like to see South Korea, Taiwan, Japan. And that will happen one day. How did I get on this rant? Oh, you were talking about going to Seattle. Shame on you. Back to your comments. BF Guy says, I work 100% remote, so I can be anywhere. Yeah, that's cool. Bear says, I hear good things about Albania. That's my plan. Live 6 months here, 6 months in Tbilisi, Georgia. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that country is pretty cool, too. I do want to check out Tbilisi. BF Guy says, Croatia's beautiful, never been. Yeah, it is, but it is more pricier than Albania. Hey, Egyptian goddess, haven't heard from you in a while. I've been busy caring for my parent. I'll be in touch. Oh, that's super sweet. That's okay. You do you, girl. ES says, what's the price of a studio or a 1-bedroom monthly? Here in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, I just helped one of my subscribers. She just moved here 1 week ago, literally. She went through me. I got her an apartment for $400 a month. It's a 1-bedroom. She wanted a modern apartment in a condo. She's on the 10th floor of 11 floors. She's on the 10th. It has a really nice swimming pool. Comes with the place. She has a small gym. But I mean, I was like, girl, I said, and she doesn't live, she's actually gonna be literally across the main road from where I live. So she's in the same area I'm at in Phnom Penh, which is west of the main city. But yeah, I got her in the apartment for $400. Now studio, the same building. This was so crazy. They had a studio along with the 1 bedroom for rent, but the studio was $500 per month. And I was like, but it did look bigger. It looked like you could partition the bedroom from the living room. I personally liked the studio. It really had nice windows, a really nice view, but it had a small balcony. She wanted more balcony space. So the 1 bedroom, she got it for $400. They initially asked for $450. I told her, get with the realtor and negotiate down. I can tell you this. Most of the landlords out here will actually come down $50 off the rent. They won't go any more than that. So if your budget, like her budget was 400 tops, this place we looked at, they wanted 450, but she talked them down to 400, so she got what she wanted. Now, could she have done better? Maybe gotten a place cheaper? Absolutely, but none of them was, you know, they were older places. She didn't like the way they looked, and I don't blame her, you know. But yeah, so that's about the price range on that. Robert Carlson, let's go. Yeah, Alpha Omega's in the house. Hey. Bear says a nice trip would be Istanbul, Cappadocia, Batumi, Georgia, and Tbilisi. Hey, that sounds like a plan. Total plan. Travis Murphy says okay, and he said hi. Well, hi. Welcome to Phnom Penh, Cambodia. You're looking out of a coffee shop window. See the tuk-tuks going by, got the motorbikes out there, got the French building flair. Here's what the coffee shop looks like over here. This is actually they actually sell, what do you call, wedding cakes here. Check this out. See, they got them on display. Of course, that's just a replica. This is called, what do they call this place? Sorry, it's messed up. Ben's and Grace. This cost me $2. It was a milk Thai tea, but as you see, it's gone. And I'm just chilling on this chair in the back room here. It's only a couple people in the back. But yeah, I mean, let me put this down here, get a sip of this drink. But again, this live stream's for you. Let's see what time it is. Checking the time out. This live stream's for you, so ask away. If you don't know who I am and you're just coming in on this, my name is Tami. I'm an expat from Orlando, Florida. I've lived in Phnom Penh, Cambodia for, I'd say, 16 months now, so almost a year and a half. I help people relocate here, whether you're retired or you're a digital nomad. I can help get you set up in an apartment, get your visa extended proper, so you make sure you have the right visa that you come in on and the right one to extend. And I can even point you in the right direction to get some health insurance. That's what I do. So if you're interested in that, and this will all be in the description after the live stream. If you can't write this down, but my website is nextstepunknown.me, or you can contact me, which is free. My email, business email is Tami, Tami, at nextstepunknown.com. And I'd be happy to answer any kind of questions you have. But if you happen to book my services, okay, let's say you want to work with me and you book my services, then we'll do a free 30-minute Google Meets call. It's like a Zoom, but it's Google Meet. So it's free. We're going to chit-chat it up. I'm going to find out exactly what you need my help with. We're going to come up with a blueprint, a game plan. So I can work with people virtually online. And then once you get your boots on the ground out here and you're ready to rock and roll, like I say, you need to find an apartment really fast. That's where my services kick in. That's what you pay for. So that's it. Just thought I'd throw that out there in case you're new and you don't know what this is all about. But I do these live streams twice a week, Mondays and Fridays. I do them for you. So, you know, ask away. Ask the questions that you have. Yumsy mumsy. I know it's only ice now, but I'm pretty thirsty. It's not bad at all. Oh, I forgot they gave me water. They actually gave me a glass of cold water. I haven't even drank it. This is free, and they always give you cold water with your coffee or tea for free, which I think is pretty cool, and they give it to you in a glass, not plastic. They actually give it to you in a glass. It's pretty interesting. Okay, Bear, let me get this drink in because I can't see your comment from way here. It was like, ooh. No, it's not vodka. I can see that. No, this is water. Only water. H2O, baby. Oh, so refreshing. In this heat, you gotta be drinking water out here, guys, because it's hitting 100 degrees plus. You definitely need water. What is that? Roger667 says hi. Curtis Swiggin says, what's your age? I could lie and tell you I'm 21. Bear says, Batumi is a really interesting city in the Black Sea coast. Interesting modern architecture. Worth a quick Google search. Batumi, that's cool. Okay, well, without me jumping to Google right now, what country is Batumi in? I don't know. Fill me in. Is that in the country of Georgia? Is that off the coast somewhere in Albania? Or are we somewhere in Southeast Asia? Inquiring minds want to know, including this crazy looking hair. I'd be crazy. And I agree with your age on a day over 21. And I would call you a liar, but thank you. Who else is in the house? NYC. Hello. Hello, I'm Mrs. Doubtfire. Batumi is in Georgia. Okay. Not far from the Turkish border. Okay, Bear. Okay. I've been to Turkey. I have been to Turkey. I spent 2 months in Turkey. Where was I? I flew through Antalya Airport. No. I flew through Istanbul Airport. I'm trying to think which one it was. I was in Antalya Airport. I went to Istanbul Airport, but I didn't stay in Istanbul. I wish I did, but I didn't. But then that night, I went into a place called Antalya. Antalya's on the coast, if you're familiar with that. That place was beautiful. It had the snow-capped white mountains. It was awesome. And then from Antalya, I went over to a place called Bodrum, Turkey. And that was on the coast. And they had wild sheep just running around out there. And they had ancient Roman architecture just scattered over the mountains. Oh my God. I was like, does this really exist? They had a place called Hayden's Wall. I think it was Hayden. Yeah, there's some Roman dude named Hayden. Anyway, Roman's Wall or some, Hayden's Wall, but it was like an arch, and it was actually built before Jesus was born. So I don't know the exact year, but you can also see the tracks, the old Roman tracks when they were pulling like the emperor through the gate. The tracks actually were like embedded in the mud, and this mud is like 2,000 years old, and you can still see the Roman wheel tracks coming through there. Oh man, it was awesome. I was like, damn, that's almost like a putting you back on a time machine, but being safe. So I wouldn't get attacked by Romans. Anyway, back to your comments. Bear says Istanbul is fun. Yeah, I gotta check out Istanbul. Okay, good question, Mark. Is it Mark Thirst says, my biggest fear of Cambodia is the mosquitoes. Are they? Oh, Hadrian, that's what it's called, Bear. Hold on, Mark. Hadrian's Wall. Yeah, you're right. Or Hadrian's Gate, one of the two. Mosquitoes, are they bad? Okay, Mark. No. No. Do they bite? Yes. Have you ever been to Florida? I'm from Florida, okay? We have bad mosquitoes in Florida. I would say, if I was going to compare, especially here in the city, if I was going to compare Orlando, Florida's mosquitoes to Phnom Penh's mosquitoes, I would say Orlando has worse mosquitoes and bigger than here. Now, if I was out in the country out here, it would be bigger and worse. Like if I was living away from Phnom Penh, let's say I was living out in the jungle or out in the rice fields or both, that's when it gets really bad. You know what I mean? But you know what they have out here besides the mosquito nets? Yeah, you can buy bug spray if you want, and you can put that stuff on you, mosquito repellent. But you know what's cool that we don't have back in the United States? They have this, how can I call it? It looks like a tennis racket, right? But it zaps bugs. So you charge it in the wall. It has a mesh net. You turn it on, like if you have a mosquito that's around you and bugging you, you get your swatter, your tennis racket, and you zap these bugs with it. And I'll tell you, it's the most fun thing to do. Because when the mosquito goes through the mesh net and gets electrocuted, it pops, man. It just goes bam, like that. So all you gotta do is wave it around you and you can just catch them, boom, 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 boom. It's actually pretty fun. I like it. I have one right next to my couch. I have my windows open all day long. I maybe get one, maybe two mosquitoes every other day in my apartment. Most of the time, they fly out by nighttime, and then I shut my windows when I go to bed, and I turn on my air conditioner. I never get bit at night. But no, they're not bad. They're not really bad out here. And I've been bit several times, okay? And I haven't caught any weird fever or anything like that. People are like, oh, you're gonna catch dengue fever and all this shit. I have never caught anything out here. So maybe I'm either really fortunate, and have I got any shots since I've been out here? No. Because if you go on the U.S. Embassy website, they'll say, we recommend you get XYZ shots before you go to Cambodia. Well, recommend and do are two different things. They might recommend I get the shots. I recommend that I don't. I never got any kind of immunization shots or anything before coming out here to Cambodia. I've been bit by mosquitoes. I've been here over a year. I haven't had any problems. I've never gotten super sick. The only time I get sick out here, it's not really even a cold. Like, I never get a fever, but I'll get this sort of like tickle in your throat. It's hard to explain. Or you get the runny nose. I think it has something to do with their change of season after the rain quits. The rainy season, it actually causes some kind of nasal congestion thing going on. And you might have that for 2 to 3 weeks. It's a pain in the ass. It's just a runny nose and then maybe a little dry tickle, right? You'll cough, but it's not a fever. So that's it. That's the worst that I've had. Back to your comments. Bear says, I hate mosquitoes. Bangladesh was a challenge for me. Okay. I've never been there, but I imagine it was. Sapphic Alex says they have that in the States. My dad has one. Oh, really? I've never seen one in Orlando. That's cool. Okay, Bear says I have one of those swatters for fruit flies and meal moths. They're fun. Yeah, they are fun. I love using it. Stephanie wants to know sourdough or dildo. I ain't falling for that one. Ronald says it's the cocaine. Okay. Rob says the drip. Uh-huh. Y'all are trying to be cute, aren't you? Y'all are trying to be so cute. You're just so cute, aren't you? Such a cutie pootie, little cutie pootie. Such a cutie little comment. Tony Lay says, is there any time... Wait a minute. Are there any time changes in Phnom Penh like in the United States? Stephanie says, I kid. Okay. Changing of the clocks. Oh, good question. Good question. No. I've been out here over a year, and I have never had to adjust the time. So no, they don't have that out here. I think that's just an American thing. Do they even do that in Europe? I don't even know. I don't remember ever having to adjust my time clock when I traveled. It was only because of the United States. And I think that has something to do, well, back in the day, didn't it have something to do with the crops, right? And the change in season with the crops and everything. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, but I don't think it's necessary anymore, so I don't know why the United States still does it. It's sort of funny when you think about it. But yeah, living out here in Cambodia, I've never had to change the clock. The time has always been the same. Good question. PR wants to be adopted. Sorry, don't need any pets. No pets. Hi, PR. You know I'm teasing you. No, I ain't your mama. I ain't your mama, or your daddy, or your grampy, or your Grammy. But yeah, if you guys have any other comments that actually pertain to Cambodia, if you have any questions, let me know. We're gonna get ready to wrap up this live stream pretty soon. Is it sundown by 6 in the evening? Tony asks. Yeah, I'm in Cambodia, Alan. When's the sun go down? Yeah, it's about 6 o'clock now. It's a little later right now, but earlier in the year, like around the rainy season, it sets around 5:30. Right now, it's setting between 6 to 6:30. It's pretty much pitch black by 6:30. Yeah. So right now we're going on 4:30. The sun will be down in a couple hours out here, about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Good question. Yeah, Cambodia, you're in, we're in Cambodia. Oh, where? I'm in Phnom Penh. What's your name? Alan? Alan, yeah, I'm in Phnom Penh, capital of Cambodia. And I am just chilling at a local, very local, yokel, sort of dated, coffee shop. But it's so chill. Like, there's only 4 other people in here, and they're on their laptops. It's like locals. Check it out. So you can see there's nobody in here. And this is the view outside. So yeah, it's pretty chill, pretty quiet, pretty quiet. Oops. Here comes a guy pulling his goods down the street. I like boring. Boring's relaxing. Alan says Cambodia borders Vietnam. That's where an underground trail that allowed VC to escape during Vietnam War. Yeah, that's probably very true. But we do border Vietnam. You are right about that. You are very right about that. Okay, well, I am going to wrap up this live stream. I appreciate everybody who's been aboard. It looks like things are slowing down. If you're the only one on here, thank you. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for asking your questions. If you are already a supporter of the channel, I appreciate you very much. I appreciate you coming in on the live streams and asking your questions. And giving the support that you do. And if you're brand new and you want to know more about this crazy country and maybe possibly moving here, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of cool videos that show you more about Vietnam, the nightlife, all the different places to go out to eat. There's a lot of good stuff on there. Or don't. It's up to you. And remember, I do these live streams twice a week, Mondays and Fridays, afternoon time, Cambodia. So just adjust it according to your time zone where you're at. Yeah, and again, I help people move out here. So if you're interested in living in the capital of Cambodia, Phnom Penh, if that's maybe part of your retirement plan and you need a little help getting everything set up, get with me. I can be your on-the-ground contact. You can hit me up on my website, nextstepunknown.me, or you can write me on my email, Tami, T-A-M-I, @nextstepunknown.com. And all of that information will be in the description box after the live stream. Okay? Thank you again for everybody who's been respectful with your kind words and your comments and your questions. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you one last look at the coffee shop and Phnom Penh, and I will catch you guys this Friday. Take care.